Yes, that's it. That's how it's done. I'm very... Hey everyone, Dave here. Welcome to a new Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we'll talk about Amius, the final boss in Centranos, on the hard difficulty, how to beat him, the strategies, the stats, everything you'll need to beat. And a great way to start this video is just by saying thank you so much. We just passed 1,000 subs, probably it was yesterday or the day before, so now we're officially a big channel, more than 1,000 subs. Thank you so much for all your support. One more thing that I wanted to mention is that this is going to be a longer video with a lot of sections, with a lot of trial. I'll try to make it not too long, but I will also add the sections in the description below so you don't suffer through it. You can easily navigate the sections, go to the exact part that you want, or revisit it more than once, as I've done with the other videos while trying to figure this out. So hopefully this will help too. Let's jump into it. I apologize in advance if there's going to be some repetition through this video because I was trying to beat the boss for several days while recording, but now that I've beaten him, I wanted to summarize properly at the beginning and the end of the video all the stats and everything you'll need. So Amius, let me go to the boss, and spoiler alert, I'll show you the team I've beaten him with now, but there is much more to it than just the team. So let me start a run. I will not finish it. I just want to show you a couple of things about how to start here. The few important things that you need to pay attention to while doing this run so you can beat that boss the easiest possible way. First thing is that when you start, so like my whole team except for Crohnam is slower than the boss. So, but the important thing is that skill from the boss, you don't have to memorize the names, that stun skill, it actually shows stun. If he has it off cooldown, don't apply any debuffs that he can flip against you before he uses that skill. What debuffs can he flip against you? Heal reduction, decrease defense, weaken, decrease attack. All of these are going to be flipped to their alternative forms if the boss has increase attack on him while he switched into his second form. If the boss has heal instead of heal reduction, that will also make your life much more difficult. So before the boss takes that turn, what you need to do is don't use any debuffs he can flip against you. And Python, who from all the videos and runs that I've seen is almost mandatory for that run to work. Thankfully, he's been a fusion in the past year, and if you haven't been playing when Python fusion was on, probably it's too early for you to tackle that boss anyway. Why is Python very crucial here and why is he so important? His passive mitigates the damage. The whole team is taking less damage. Just because Python is there. Same with Venomage. The second thing is that he can cleanse and applies that block debuffs before the boss tries to stun us, and he got a revive in case you need it. So we have block debuffs up and we're not applying any debuffs the boss can use against us. Now this skill is on cooldown. Brimstone, a major factor. We'll talk about it more in detail in a bit. But now that the boss used that skill, I can do whatever I want. Well, not whatever I want, but this is a good time to apply the heal reduction so the boss won't heal when we heal. So that's the second thing. As soon as he uses this one, Venomage is the perfect candidate. I've seen Cold Heart working in multiple videos, but you need to have your Cold Heart very tanky there. Basically have heal reduction whenever this skill got like 2-3 turns to be on cooldown. So that's the second part that's important here. You don't want too many buffs on your team. So that's the whole team, or most of it, needs to be in Regen, in Immortal, strong healer like Owella here, to make sure that they are all healthy most of the time without too many buffs on them. Because why are buffs bad? In the form 1, in the first form that we're seeing on the screen now, the boss will decrease the duration of his debuffs and decrease the duration of your buffs and his debuffs and heal based on that, so you don't want this too much. Another thing that you need to pay attention to, that red, the Eclipse passive here, where he transforms to his second form and start dealing massive amounts of damage to you. What do you want to do? What do you want to know about that second form? First thing is that you need to have an attack down champ. Like here I have too many debuffs, probably that's not an optimal situation. You need to apply decreased attack on the boss. You see here we didn't land it, so we might be a bit in trouble here. Before, if this got 1 in it, if he's going to switch when he takes a second turn, you need to be fully healthy with decreased attack on the boss, preferably. Two things that you need here, and they are not 100%. The boss does some weird stuff there, so you can do one of two things when the boss is about to flip to his second form. Either have no debuffs on, no buffs on your team, then the boss will attack your tank. What does tank mean in this sense? First of all, the whole team needs to be tanky. I'll talk specifically about the stats as soon as I get out of this run, but the whole team needs to be tanky. High defense, high HP, as high HP as you can get them, fast enough, at least 250 or around in that range. We'll see the stats later on, so don't focus on this now. The tank should be the least champ HP wise, but still he needs to have enough HP so that when the boss targets him in the second form with his A1 that ignores all of defense, he will still survive it. So I can try this now. The other strategy here, like I don't have decreased attack, if you put buffs on your team before the boss switches, he's going to use his A3 to strip you, and then he's going to use his A2. So yes, he's hitting you twice, but the good thing is that he's not hitting as hard as that A1 that ignores defense. So the whole team is taking a beating, a little bit less hard than that single target one. So when the boss is about to switch, you can choose which way you want to go. If the whole team is healthy, if your tank is healthy and at full health, and you have decreased attack on the boss, then you can just choose not to buff and let the boss take that A1. If you're not sure about it, buff and let him do the A3. Another important thing, if you notice here, the boss already took a turn. It's considered a turn. When this buff is only 1, that eclipse, it's showing on the screen, but it's small. When you have only 1 remaining in that eclipse buff, so he's switching back to his initial form, you don't want heal reduction, you don't want decreased attack. Because if he got any of these, he's going to flip them to the buffs. So that's what you need to know as well. Try to expire these or not apply them again before he switches to his initial form. I'm retrying this just to show you the perfect scenario here because you will have many failed runs. Apply decreased attack just before the boss switched forms, as I was saying. Now he's going to use his A3 or his A1 on Crohnam. I'm covered for both cases. The team is tanky enough. And because he used his A3 into A2, so he doesn't have this off cooldown anyway. So I can buff because he's going to attack Crohnam the next time with a single target attack. That's really massive. So you see here, my Crohnam is tanky enough, but he should have less HP than the other members of the team, so he'll always be targeted there. So we'll do that. The other thing is make sure that you don't have decreased attack or decreased defense or heal reduction on the boss when this buff, like you see here, he flipped form and he healed, but still we don't want healing on him when he switches to his initial form. What else do we need to cover to be covered for? Okay, now he's back to his initial form, preferably. Okay, so I did a mistake here because I should have done the block the buffs with Python. So let's do this instead, just to cleanse. Something else to pay attention to. The boss cannot be killed in his second form. If you check this passive that he uses to switch to his second form, if he's killed on his second form, he will flip back to his first one with like 30% HP and 50% turn meter. So basically you're repeating this again. So if you can help it, because sometimes you cannot help it with Brimstone or you need to repeat it multiple times, if the boss is about to die in his second form, make sure to hit him as one, just help him survive till he flips back to his initial form and then kill him in his initial form. That's another important tip there. Brimstone is your friend. Part, okay, let me get out of this run. There is not much to see here. And you will see part and you'll see me explaining parts, probably too much. I will be repeating stuff while we are showing the edits from the previous runs, including the one that was successful. What do you need to run in the team there? In one of the edits, I will show you the Crohnam strategy. The Crohnam strategy doesn't require awakening, it's just the HP burns from Crohnam. But it needs crazy level of gears that even I don't have it, as you'll see in the edit there. It's basically depending on you having Crohnam, Jamarsa, and Wukong. Crohnam needs to be crazy fast and crazy tanky. While I'm talking about this in the specific segment, I will show you the stats that you'll need in your Crohnam, and I'll put them on the screen as well. So what does that strategy need? Let me show you. It basically needs Crohnam, very tanky, very fast. Like the Awakening here and Brimstone are an add-on, they are not required. It needs Wukong. Again, Awakening is not required on Wukong, just him being there on the team. Jamarsa's here just to activate Crownam's passive, so he can get revived when he falls down, because he will fall down. But yeah, okay, sorry about that. Who else we want to bring into the team? The other champs are basically just fillers. Like, just bring anyone. But yeah, I'll show you the strategy and how it works. I won't complete it because I told you it won't work on my account. I don't have good enough gear, but I'll just show you how it works. So this is depending 100% on Crownam landing his burns and extending them. So you see here, the other champs will die very soon. But the main thing is for Crownam to land the burns and keep extending them. I'm waiting for everyone to die to show you how it works. Crownam should be tanky enough to take the hits from the boss's second form. You see here we're taking multiple hits, that's okay. Everyone will die. I just want to extend the burns forever and let them kill the boss. You see he's hurting himself here, he's not healing that much. Wukong will come back up every now and then because of his passive. Why this is important? Because you see the boss healed, but that's okay. Why this is important? So when the boss is in his second form, Crownam won't take all the beating there. So you see Wukong is doing nothing. That can be an auto if you have the right gear, and I'll tell you what stats are required there. I couldn't make it happen on my account, that's why I'm just showing you how it worked. You see here, so Crownam can die. His passive when Jamarsa is on the same team will allow him to be revived back. The only problem is that he cannot die too frequently, otherwise his passive cooldown, you see here, exact like perfect showcase here. When you have the burns extended long enough on the boss, you see here, like I have a counter attack accessory on him because it helps. I can also just like activate the burns for a chunk of damage here. You see here, if he dies here, probably his passive is not on cooldown yet, so that's why it fails. Why it's failing on my account, I'll show you. And I'll tell you what the stats. These are the stats. Like I have counter attack accessory on him so that it will help with the burn extension. I have my Crownam at 61k HP. Defense is okay for the other hits, but for the specific A1 from the boss, he ignores defense. 277 speed and 449 accuracy. That's not enough. The videos I've seen doing the Crownam solo strategy sort of with Jamarsa and Wukong, well, it's not solo strategy, but anyways, it's free-to-play one. They needed Crownam to be at 80k HP at least, and 290 speed, 450 accuracy. The accuracy is okay, so the accuracy is not the issue here. The main thing is that I need him to be going at 290 speed at least, in regen and immortal with 80k HP. I don't have that kind of gear, and I'm not stripping my whole account from other champs that I'm using just for this, but I just wanted to show you the strategy in case this is your only way. So that's the first strategy, basically just Crownam surviving and putting HP burns on the boss while the boss is killing himself slowly. If you have Brimstone on Crohnam or Wukong, that will help you greatly, just increase that possibility of killing the boss faster. So this is not the strategy that worked for me. I'm talking about the second strategy, which is the second form tank strategy. Let's call it the tank strategy. So what does this tank strategy require? It requires you to have Mithrala. Everybody will have Mithrala, strong healer, and just cleanser. It requires you to have Pythion for the cleanses, for the block debuffs, for the revive if you need it. It requires you to have, well, if not Venomage, then Cold Heart, but someone to apply heal reduction on the boss at the right time. And then it requires you to have a highly awakened champ. And I'll put these requirements on the screen when we finish talking about them. A highly awakened champ, because the higher the awakening level of the champ, the less hard the boss will hit them. So your tank, the one with the least HP in the team, but still a good chunk of HP, defense, and speed, is the one that will take the A1 hit on the second form. You need him to be tanky, but the least HP in the team, with high awakening level, so the boss will hit him less hard. So that's one thing. The other thing is that you need Brimstone. You need as much Brimstone on a highly awakened champ as possible. This needs to be Legos, unfortunately, because Brimstone is a Lego only blessing. Those are the requirements that you will need. What about the stats? So just to be clear, if you have, even if you're going to switch it back for gems after you finish this run, if you have a 4-star or 5-star awakening on Pythion or Wella or even a healer, Brimstone doesn't make much sense for healers, but put it on them just to kill that boss. Of course, if you have it on a proper champ, like in my case, I have it on Crohnam, as you'll see in the run, that's a perfect scenario there. And I used Crohnam as my tank in this run. What stats do you need? And I will show you the builds after the run. The general stats that you'll need there: everybody to be more than 50k HP at least, preferably 60k HP, while your highly awakened tank is the least. So if everybody's at 60k HP, make him at 55 or 57 or whatever. Defense wise, I would say 3k defense is okay. The more you can have it, the better there. Speed, everybody needs to be around like 250 speed is the right speed. Like, you need to be faster than 250 if you're going to take the first turn before the boss. That's not important, as you'll see from my run. You can run them a little bit slower, but they cannot be too slow, because a lot of these champs are going to be in Regen and Immortal. They need to take turns to cycle through their skills and to heal themselves if they need this. So 250 speed is the optimum one, or faster if you can. If you're below it, you cannot fall too far below it. What about accuracy? Accuracy is around 450 is going to be an okay accuracy for the boss. And of course, because as in most runs and the videos that you saw, if you use Mithrala as lead, that's giving you a good chunk of accuracy boost to the team. Now let's get into the trials and the winning run. We got our 3 keys from Centranos to beat Amius, and I haven't even tried it. Look at that, perfect timing here, because I just got the 3rd key from the double boss. Go fight Amius. Okay, I will. That was a great scene that I didn't even plan, but yeah, okay. So this is the first time I'm trying him. Why did he kill my Elva? Okay, so now we try to survive this. Come on. We're switching strategy. So I figured out with my current team, the teams that I've been trying with for the past like probably few days, it's not working. I'll tell you. Let me bring the team back, and I'll tell you what's the change I want to make here. So this was the team. How I built it and the intention. Probably I explained it before in the videos. There will be so many video segments to edit here. Is that I'm depending on Venomage for the heal reduction. I'm depending on both of these. I had to switch Pythion for the Brimstone, which is a crucial part of taking the boss down in this strategy. And Kale with High Awakening is going to be my tank for Form 2. He has the lowest HP, and then but still enough HP to take that massive hit from the boss, and Uella is there for just healing and to keep the turn meter going there. What I figured out, my problem with my trials, if you've seen the edits that I've put before this point in the video, is that I don't have enough Brimstone landing on the boss, because Brimstone is the main form of damage here, so I needed to sub Dark Ale out. While I was trying, also probably it would be plugged in at an earlier stage of that video, the Crohnam strategy. I couldn't get enough stats on Crohnam, but what I was thinking is that Crohnam with 5-star awakening can be my tank for Form 2. He will have less HP than Venomage, just to make sure that he's taking the hit on Form 2, but he has 5-star awakening. I got lucky with that, and that's how you should be light on your feet while trying this. So I'm trying it with 5-star Brimstone. Now I have 3 champs with Brimstone. It can only land once at a time, but Crohnam got a much higher probability of landing it. So let's give it a try and see if it's going to work. My Crohnam from the previous trials is also fast enough. He's the only one probably faster than the boss in this team. But you see, he didn't land Brimstone even here. Let's do this. No heal reduction till the boss does his stun move. We can extend the burns. Burns are okay. Now I'm landing it, Brimstone, which is good. This should be fine. This should go forward fine now. And I'll put here reduction right now with Venomage. I also boosted Venomage, just glyphed a few pieces of speed on her from my previous trials. Now this is time for the attack down. Let's heal. Do I want... Okay. It's very important to make sure you have enough debuffs in the bar for the attack down. He did his A3. That's okay. Beautiful. Look at Brimstone when it properly lands. This is just beautiful. So I think what we need is for the boss to be very low in health. When he goes into from Form 2 to Form 1, then we can just finish him off. But let's see how it will go. So far we should be okay. So this is my second time trying it with Crohnam. Not too bad, I would say. We're a bit lower on health than I would like. Yeah, I expected him to do that, but now he'll change form. Come on, can I get one more Brimstone, please? Obviously not. Okay, let's heal. He will heal a bit. That's fine. If he has heal reduction now, he would have died. I'm not sure if this is going to be the time, but it's looking good. Not as easy as they make it sound, so let's just make sure that we're all covered here. Why I'm saying this might be the time, because especially if we land Brimstone now, okay, we didn't, because we have some debuffs, we have heal reduction, we have attack down, we have everything that we need to survive the second form. And then basically what the kit says is that, okay, now we have Brimstone, which is good. I'm hoping he won't die now, because he cannot be killed on his second form because of his passive. So we need just to survive and wait till he flips back. If he dies on his first form, we're good. So we want all of the attack down and heal reduction to expire here. Come on. Give me my kill, please, this time. Okay, so he flips. Yes! Yes! That's it! That's how it's done. Now that we finally got Amius down, let's check the stats on the team, the builds I have on those champs that enabled us to beat Amius. So Crohnam here, I got very lucky with a 5-star Brimstone on Crohnam, which is really good. I have him in Regen and Immortal. He doesn't need special accessories, just avoid refresh accessories and refresh masteries, because one of the boss's passives is that if you decrease the cooldown on one of your skills, he's decreasing the cooldown on his. That will completely mess up your run. So just avoid refresh accessories and that. Okay, let me check this. And this mastery and this. Well, this one probably won't be relevant in the boss, but this one specifically, Cycle of Magic. Stats wise, 52k HP almost. I think lower than this you will be in risk of dying when the boss hits. 3.7k defense is okay. 277, he's the fastest of my team. Probably he's in one of my best builds. 44.6 accuracy, which is good. Resistance is not required there. He just needs HP burns. If you can put more HP into him, that's good. But then just note that if you give him more HP, you have to give everyone else even more, because he's your tank. Masteries wise, those are the same ninja masteries that I'm using. He's doing damage from the HP burns and activation. He's not doing damage from the offense tree. So that's my Crohnam masteries there. Sets, Regen and Immortal, okay. So that's Crohnam. Now let's go check Python. Okay. Before we do this, let's switch him back to cheap. Now it's costing me gems. I'm using Crohnam now and he got 5 stars. So he's in Bolster. Bolster and Immortal are good for Python generally. What stats do I have on him? 73k HP, that's okay. 3.5k defense, that's also okay. 220 speed, that should be higher, but I guess that's okay. And then he doesn't need anything else. He's not applying the buffs. He doesn't require accuracy, so just as fast as you can, as tanky as you can. Bolster is a good set for Python, and that's the masteries I have on him. I avoided Cycle of Magic, as you can see, though generally, if not for this boss, Cycle of Magic would have been good for him. So Python and Bolster, and that's his stats. Third champ we have in the team is Mithrala. Mithrala usual build is just as fast and accurate as you can have her. So she's tanky by default, so it's very easy to give her loads of HP. Defense is a little bit low, but yeah, it's okay. Speed, she should be faster, but 240 worked in my example. 460 accuracy is just okay. That's not a crazy build at all. Mithrala great stats will help you do this. And then that's what I'm using for her masteries. Again, avoiding Cycle of Magic, just Perception or Speed, anything that get her to those specific stats. So those are 3 out of the 5 champs. The fourth champ that we used in this run is one of the sleepers. More and more I want to create a dedicated video for Uella, because she's a great support champ and healer. Look at her stats: 3.3k defense, 80k HP, 234 speed, a bit of resistance if you can have it. She doesn't apply the buffs, she doesn't need accuracy, but as fast as you can, as tanky as you can again. In my case, my Uella is in a Guardian set. If you're going to do the same, if you want to try this way, Guardian set will help Uella soak some of the damage that's getting to your tank, which is Crohnam in my case, which allow him to have a little bit less HP. But if she's not tanky enough, that ally protection sort of set was going to kill her. So 80k HP and 3.3k defense is the least you can have on her. These are the masteries. Yeah, they are visible in the screen. Just generic support masteries for Uella. She's really a sleeper, a great champ, and I'm looking forward to maybe just recording a video dedicated to her and show her in multiple comps there. So that's four champs. The last champ that we have on the team is Venomage. I think it was on Hill Hades' video. If you have Venomage with High Awakening, That's a perfect scenario. You can serve as your tank, your heal reduction champ, and your decrease attack champ, so it's perfect. So Venomage is in Regen and Immortal. Those are the stats I have on her. I made her HP higher than Crohnam, so that wasn't easy. Crohnam is tankier by default because I want him to be targeted, not her. Though in the run, sometimes she will get targeted, so make sure to use Uella and Mithrala's heals and buffs at the right times, as we'll see. 3.3k defense, 220 speed, and then around 400 accuracy. What does she need to make her perfect? A bit more HP, a bit more accuracy, a bit more speed. So those are the stats I'm having on my Venomage. That's her masteries. So more accuracy, she's more of the buffer than damage dealer, and then offense to give her a bit more damage there. So those are the 5 champs that we've used and the stats that we have on them. I hope this one was helpful to you. I'm sorry it was that long, I couldn't avoid it. Hopefully that the timestamps and the sections in the video description helped you navigate through it. Thank you for tuning in today and for staying that long, and as I say, keep playing Raid. I'll see you next time.